Hey guys, I am here with my lovely client Rebecca, and we have a situation where we have just a small corner here that has chipped, and so we want to fix this to create her shape, but she tends to wear a color that is slightly see-through, so you don't want to create that corner out of a clear gel or you're going to see just kind of a inconsistent free edge underneath her clear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a form on here. On thumbs, I typically open my form. Pop a form on. And close the tab so it stays put. So it's nice and solid into there. If you need to, you can always tuck your form into there just so that it's nice and smooth. And then I've already put on my bonding gel. This time I've used, I use this on most of my clients. I use the OptiBond from the UV LED line. So you can use it in your UV lamp or an LED lamp. And I'm gonna use my classic French white. It's a little dusty and it's almost out. But this is what I typically will use if someone wants a baby boomer full set. This is a really good way to create a baby boomer full set as well, because it blends really nicely into the nail bed, and then you can cover it with a coverage pink. So all I'm doing here is I want to blend this free edge and make it look as natural as possible, so that when we cover up her nail with the color, it's going to all blend in with the rest of her nails, because she does one coat of delicate, which for those of you know the Luxio line, it's a sheer pink, so it's not got a lot of color. And if I did this corner here with clear, then you would see that. So we are just blending it in, and that way when we cover up her nail, it's gonna look even on all of them. So see that the French white is a semi-sheer. You can see the lines of the form through it, and so it's similar more so to her natural nail than using a bright white. So I'm going to do that. We're going to pop that in the light real quick. Go ahead and put your whole nail all the way in. And I'm using natural pink for her fill. Or for the this is 30-day manicure. This is a very thin layer of gel. So you can call it a fill, but I'm not going to be building an arch with her nail, which is your general rule for a fill. I'm going to go ahead and start with this hand, and I'll show you what I mean. If you haven't seen my 30-day manicure, I roll off a bit of gel, pillow it towards the cuticle, leaving a bit of a gap because your color is going to fall right into the gap, and then just glide it over, brushing off what you don't need, because it's going to self-level right into the nail. You just want to remove any excess. Then you have a nice smooth, so you guys see the line of light, it's pretty smooth there, and it's just going to smooth right out for you. Next, and then all I'm going to do with this is, after this layer cures, go straight into my one coat of delicate and then top coat, and then she'll be done. But we've got to fix that little corner, so I wanted to show you guys that. So I'm going to finish this real quick and switch back to that nail and just show you guys how to finish that off. So there's no finish filing with this technique. This gel will just get on there smooth. You apply it and then you go straight to your color. Go ahead and put this in. Alright, so I'm going to go back to her thumb, just so you guys don't have to see the entire process. I'm going to make sure I have a good amount of gel on my brush. This is the natural. Roll it off in the middle. Pillow it towards the cuticle. And glide over the tip. I'm just touching the top of that pillow and pulling it down, but I'm trying not to be flat on, just needed a little bit more, so I'm adding a little bit more. Try not to be pushed down with my brush. I don't want my brush bristles to flare out. That means you're pulling too much gel off. You want to glide over it like frosting. So I'm just making sure I have enough in this corner. And then if you see there's a divot right there, you can check out the light. So since there's already gel there, you can just drizzle some in there, and you can either let it go or you can fiddle with it a little bit. Eventually it would smooth out, depending on how warm it is. Gel is very temperature sensitive, so if it's warmer in your salon because the heat's been on, it might level faster, or if it's summer it'll level faster. But in the winter it's not going to level quite as fast if it's cool out. So checking that out. Looks nice and smooth. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that in. I'm going to continue with this hand. So typically I would have just finished the whole hand and switched, but I'm trying to make you guys not have to wait for too much. If you guys have any questions, I will answer them later. I don't have someone here to read them for me, so I will answer them later for sure. So just type them down. So the rolling is a technique that you want to use as you get used to using your gel. Just push it down and then push it around the cuticle. Again, leave a gap, because the number one thing you're going to get lifting from is if your gel is touching the cuticle. It does not need to be way back there. Your color is going to be back there and it's going to fall right into the gap and you have a nice smooth nail. But if your gel is way back there and you get it in the cuticle, then what you're going to end up with lifting. So it's better to leave a bit of a gap and let your color fall into that gap, and then you end up with a much smoother finished nail instead of one that has a huge hump anyway. So you want to be able to do it that way. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the thumb. You can do the thumb when you're using natural, because the natural doesn't pull down with gravity as much as, say, Enhance or Balance. Those ones are a little bit more gravity sensitive, so you might want to freeze before you apply onto your thumb, but with natural it stays put pretty well, so I can typically do the thumb. I'm just pulling this out a little bit. Her thumb curls down quite a bit, and so I'm just adding a little bit extra on the side to kind of make this more of a square. Her nail does come straight out, but because it curls down, it doesn't have the appearance of it being square. So by just adding a little bit more gel on the side, we can give it a little bit more of a square appearance. Piece of lint. All right, there we go, nice and thin, very thin application, guys. This is not a thick application process. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and freeze that. Okay, and then this is the thumb. So what I do right before I add my color, I'm gonna finish the other 4 nails in a second, but I just wanted to show you guys, right before I add my color, take your form off and don't remove the tacky layer. Come on the side and roll up to the corner so that your nail comes straight out. This is a square nail, so if you're doing a different shape, obviously change the shape out. Roll up to the side and then take off the front. Dang it. Hold on. I might have just cracked my little extension there. I had too much sticking out in front. What I'm going to do is the back and forth of the hand file can sometimes tear at your extension, so use an E-file and you can get that much smoother. I should have just done this from the beginning without ripping at your new corner. There you go. It's better. So the back and forth way at that extension was jagging at it, and we don't want to break that new extension off. There's a little bit hanging out down here. I'm going to bring that up. Okay, so now we have a new corner. All I'm going to do is just wipe some of that excess dust off and go straight into, I'm just using my finger. I'm not even using a wipe because I don't want to add a bunch of lint to it, but I also don't want to remove all the tacky because your color needs to stick to that. Here's Delicate. I'm just grabbing a color. So this is Delicate Luxio. I use this for French a lot, and this and Blush are the 2 semi-translucent colors. And so for someone wanting kind of that semi-translucent look, this will give you that neutral look. I never let anyone go totally clear, so if they want clear, I'll do a coat of Blush or Delicate over their nail. But as you can see, that corner there has blended perfectly into her natural nail, so it looks like she has her own natural nail grown out, and you don't have to worry about a bright white tip underneath it not showing up or anything like that. So again, I used the French white from the classic line. If you're using the LED line, You could probably use formation white, but I would add a little bit of clear just to make it less bright. It's a little bit thicker, but you can kind of do the same effect with LED. All right, I hope that helped you guys out. Have a good one. We'll talk to you later. Bye.